Most people tend to think of summer camp as a high-octane daycare, and few realize the life skills and the lessons that can be learned when you spend time in the woods. I've spent nearly 20 years of my life first attending and then working at summer camps and gained some really valuable lessons. So this is going to be a visual summary of 20 lessons. Number one, unplug from technology. Camp is one of the best ways to prove to children and adults that you don't need your TV or your computer or your phone. And after weeks without them, you might find that you really don't need them as much, or at least maybe you don't need them as much as you once thought you did. People who look different may actually not be all that different. Some camp settings provide the opportunity to live with people from different races, religions, cultures, countries, which shows children and adults that we are actually more similar than we are different. And embracing these differences provides great opportunities to celebrate our differences. Don't eat more than 6 s'mores at a sitting. For children and even for some counselors, the camp is the first time away from home, the first time away from family, and away from parental supervision for the first time. Children have to make decisions and learn to live with the consequences, and sometimes we can all use that reminder. Simple really is better. Limited time and the rustic conditions of camp help you let go of other people's standards when it comes to fashion and grooming. Whether you're a camper or a counselor, you learn that a ponytail is just fine, makeup is unnecessary, and tucking in a shirt really is all you need to be dressed up. Never take privacy or running water or reliable electricity for granted. Living in a rustic cabin for weeks or months helps you appreciate these everyday luxuries that most of us in the Western world take for granted. And they help you be a little more thankful for them when you're actually back in civilization. Group singing is one of life's greatest joys. Even if you don't have a great singing voice, in fact, maybe especially if you don't have a great singing voice, singing in a crowd or dancing in a group, it's safe, it's fun, it's a wonderful way to express joy without that anxiety of being in the spotlight like this. Travel with a buddy and never swim alone. It's not safe or as much fun to hike or camp or swim alone, nor is it as healthy to go through life without friends or family or community. A buddy helps keep you safe, and it also gives you a sense of responsibility and accountability too. It will always rain at the most inconvenient moment. Be adaptable, be flexible, and roll with it. A heavy rainstorm might help you create a slip and slide or maybe play in an improvised outdoor shower. You should just go with it. And really, what choice do you have, actually? Having a compass doesn't mean that you can't get lost. Being at camp isn't always fun and games. Not everything goes your way. And sometimes, even with the best planning, you'll take the wrong trail, you'll forget the tent stakes, or you'll break your carefully crafted bowl. And you know what? Life goes on. The challenge course is supposed to be challenging. You're supposed to step out of your comfort zone. Try something new. Yes, it's scary, and yes, it's exciting, but you just might learn a new passion. And at the very worst, you spend an hour of your life doing something completely wonderful, new, and different. It's okay to miss the people that you love when you're away from them. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, and letters or emails or calls helps you stay connected when you're apart. I used to tell the homesick children in my many cabins that being a little homesick, it just confirms how wonderful your home and your family really are. You don't have to love your cabin mates or your co-counselors, but you do have to be respectful of their space and their needs. Living in a unit with a dozen people teaches compromise and sharing, and hopefully it helps you be a little less selfish and hopefully a little more selfless as you go through life. When you build a fire, start with the little sticks and work your way up. As with major projects in life, unless you're prepared to douse everything with a lot of lighter fluid, you should be patient and take your time and nurture. And what's the big hurry? It also doesn't hurt to start with dry wood and kindling. You should count your chickens frequently. Even today, when I'm in a group, I sometimes find myself doing a head count of all the people I'm with. And there are worse things than taking a few moments to make sure that everyone you're with is safe and present and accounted for. Sometimes when you're stuck, you need to change your perspective. When you do the same thing over and over again, you're unlikely to get new results. And at camp, you learn there's nothing like some good team-building activities to change your perspective and to see something new from a new point of view. Many girls are fantastic athletes, and many boys are good at art. When my husband and I met working at a summer camp, I was an adventure leader spending days at end on the woods, and he was running the drama program, even though in high school I was the theater student and he was the rugby jock. Teamwork always lightens the load. When you try to go it alone and you slog through a task, it's just that. It's a task. It's a chore. When you work as part of a team, a big task seems like a lot less work. And even if it is still work, it goes faster and is a little nicer when you're doing it together. Reconnect with nature. Campers and counselors alike know that camp is a wonderful antidote to the nature deficit disorder that we get from our sanitized indoor living. It enriches our worldview, and it provides a spiritual setting different than any human-built sanctuary ever could. Time in nature is always time well spent. It's not only about the money. Camp counselors work to earn and save money, of course, but the payoffs are more than just paychecks. Having a job that you love and friendships and experiences, they really last a lifetime, and they continue to pay dividends for many years after your camping days are officially over. Traditional settings would have us believe that adults are the teachers and children are the students. But at camp, and really as in life, you learn that everyone has something to teach and we all have something to learn. And if you open yourself to the possibilities, there's no telling what might happen.